不喜灵堂莫灵堂，门当行神赛罗美罗，罗门龙库阿娘阿爹阿六婆，阿娘娘阿都少准，阿呀两杯杨梅烧黑呀黑，杨杯杨梅烧黑呀黑。
The singers told us that the grand songs they performed had already been artistically refined and were very different from the original ones. The Dong people are distributed over a vast region at the junction of three provinces, Guizhou, Hunan and Guangxi. Where can we find the most authentic of the grand songs? To find out more, we travelled to Guiyang, the capital city of Guizhou province, where we talked to a Dong scholar. Mr. Zhang Zhongshao is an expert on Dong music. He's been studying it for decades.
它最大特点有全民族歌唱，所以现在我们学术界和外边一般来讲，侗族它是一个音乐的民族。它还不光是简单的讲某某地方是歌的海洋，还不光是那个含义，它比歌的海洋还厉害。音乐的民族，你这个音乐和
Mr. Zhang is also a Dong native and is well versed in his cultural traditions and its grand songs. At his suggestion, we set off for southern Guizhou in search of the traditional Dong grand songs. As we entered southeast Guizhou, we saw multi-storied wooden towers and wooden bridges with long corridors. These are the embodiment of Dong architectural art. The locals call them the drum towers and the flower bridges, which, along with the grand songs, are known as the three treasures of the Dong people. Since the Dong language has no writing system, it's impossible for us to trace back to the origins of the three treasures. But, according to folklore, they existed centuries ago. Although they manifest themselves in different forms, the Dong architectural art and music have a lot in common. For example, the drum towers and flower bridges are well-designed wooden constructions held together only by tenons and mortises, without the use of a single nail. Likewise, as many as 1,000 Dong singers can sing together in perfect harmony without accompaniment or a conductor. More surprisingly, the intricate drum towers and flower bridges are built without blueprints, and the measurement is done with a simple bamboo stick. Likewise, the grand songs were not even written down. The following melody actually comes from something in nature that everyone can recognize. The song of the cicada is very popular in Dong communities. The melody we've just heard was refined artistically. It's said that the original song should be sung by a large group of people in order to bring out its unique charm. Later, we learned that the song actually has something to do with the very start of the Dong people's singing tradition.
东道产生一个很美妙的故事。他说，有一群姑娘在坡上劳动，这姑娘们就模仿蝉虫的声音。那么大自然的蝉叫，你们到过农村的人可能都知道，那是非常漂亮的。而且那个蝉，它不是一只蝉叫，它有时候多只蝉叫，它蝉和蝉之间的声音还高低不一样，它就自然的是一种自然的合唱了。
So the grand songs started as mimicry of chirping cicadas in the summer, while the multi-part tradition derived from the varied sounds produced when cicadas chirp. Therefore, hundreds of thousands of singers are needed to recreate the grand picture of countless cicadas chirping together. On our search for the most authentic grand songs, we learned more about their legends and reputation, which made us increasingly eager to listen to the heavenly melodies with our own ears. But the journey ahead was not as easy as we thought. We drove into the mountainous areas shortly after we left Guiyang. The winding and bumpy roads slowed us down. It was already nighttime when we reached Rongjiang County, our first destination in southeast Guizhou. The county government recommended us to a local Dong Choir, but to our disappointment, there were only a few singers. The song was indeed beautiful, but was it what we were looking for? And why did it have instrumental accompaniment? Well, to our knowledge, it should not.
榕江县的三宝琵琶歌是侗族琵琶歌中间很独特的一种，它以悠长的旋律取胜。它还有一个特点就是以牛腿琴和琵琶歌同时来，它这一点是跟其他地区的琵琶歌不太一样。侗族琵琶歌在侗族地区流行面也很广。种类也很多，笼统讲有大琵琶歌、中琵琶歌、小琵琶歌，榕江呢属于中琵琶歌。
Although this is not what we were looking for, it's another type of the Dong folk song, the pipa song, which is sung to the accompaniment of the Dong pipa and the New Tuai chin. Unlike the crooked-necked pipa, introduced to the Central Plains from the western regions in China, the Dong pipa originated in ancient China. The pipa song, which is also performed by a group of singers, is often classified as one type of the grand songs, but it's not the kind we were searching for. Therefore, we continued travelling along the Duliujiang River into the heart of the mountains. Our destination this time is Shaohuang village of Songjiang County. Shaohuang village is reputed to be the homeland of the Dong grand songs, where the singing tradition is best observed. But we were still worried about what lay in store for us ahead, because we were warned by the local government over the phone that the drought in Songjiang had just been relieved by rainfall, and all the villagers were busy rice planting. Therefore, it would be difficult for them to summon the singers for us. In addition, the rainy weather made it impossible for us to film them singing together in the hundreds or thousands outdoors. A few hours later, we arrived at the Shaohuang village, tired and weary, and we saw with our own eyes what we had been told. The villagers' long-expected rain eventually came, so they hurried to plant rice seedlings in the terraced fields on the mountainside, a few kilometers away. All that was left for us were empty streets and the rain. Nearly 1,000 families live in this village. Based on what we had learned on the way up, as soon as we walked into the village, we knew that there are 3 family names most commonly seen here. The drum towers gave us the clue. They're very much like the ancestral temples of the Han people in this respect. Every family name has its own tower. Therefore, the number of drum towers indicates the number of major family names in the village. The grand songs that we had tried so hard to find are closely associated with the drum tower as well, because this is where they sing. Although the stage was standing right in front of us, we were still uncertain when music would breathe life into it. The next morning, the local government told us that progress was being made in organising the choir, but due to the poor weather conditions, we could still not film for the time being. So the county officials introduced us to a few Dong singers so that we could interview them first, as we waited for the sky to clear up. However, this unplanned interview turned out to be a surprise.
假设它的垂轴为 F 啊 ，QF 在这个直角上的垂中注意考虑啊 ，QF。
Pan Lin Yu is a student of the second middle school of Tongjiang County. In class, she's no different from her fellow classmates. But in fact, Lin Yu, who comes from Shaohuang village, is quite well known locally as a singer. When Lin Yu was still in Shaohuang Village Elementary School back in her hometown, she already stood out in her school's choir. In 2007, the 12-year-old Lin Yu and her friends were asked to join a Dong children's choir. They performed for Premier Wen Jiabao and the Japanese audience when the Chinese leader was on his first official visit to Japan. Later they went to France, where they impressed an international audience with their perfect rendition of the Dong grand songs. Lin Yu sings well, not just because she's gifted with an extraordinary voice. The other reason, however, she's unwilling to talk about. The Dong singing tradition prospers in Shaohuang village. Every Dong native in the village loves singing. Lin Yu's parents, in fact, were both renowned singers in the community. When she was a baby, her parents used to carry her in their arms and sing traditional folk songs to her. But Lin Yu's father died when she was 5. Soon her mother remarried and moved to another place. The young Lin Yu has been living with her grandparents ever since then. She could no longer listen to her parents singing, and her happy childhood ended there as well. All that is left for her are the memories of her parents' songs.
"在我们心情不好的时候，然后就哼几句，然后觉得心情好多了。反正唱歌能够给自己带来快乐。
Lin Yu's tender heart is mended by singing, and her life has been woven together with music ever since. Granny Pan Sain Hua of Shaohuang village was nominated by the local government as the inheritor of the grand songs at the level of a national intangible cultural heritage. She not only can sing a great many Dong folk songs, but also knows all the stories behind them. Nowadays, every researcher who comes to Shaohuang village to study the Dong folk songs will visit her. She is like a key to the world of the Dong songs. The Dong people often say, "Food feeds the body, while songs nourish the heart." To the Dong people, Singing is as important as their daily meals. That's why those who are good at it are well respected. The Dong people call a girl who can sing well a golden flower to show their respect. When Pan Sayin Hua was young, she was admired for her voice as well as her beauty, a golden flower known to everyone in her hometown. Now Pan Sayin Hua is an old lady. For her, those prime years exist only in songs. A few years ago, she discovered that Lin Yu not only loves singing, but also has talent. So she began to teach her everything she knows about the Dong songs.